Now this excites me when policy changes to be more user-friendly. A current hot topic, especially with the newer California state laws, as well as the SB 9 laws, is the topic of ADUs. What is allowed, who can build them, where can they be built, how big can they be, what is a junior ADU? Hi, I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert. Let's dive in and explore the allure and the details of ADUs and junior ADUs. What is an ADU? An ADU is an independent secondary dwelling unit associated with a primary dwelling. A junior ADU or JADU is an independent or connected secondary dwelling unit less than 500 square feet converted from space in a single family dwelling. With a JADU, the owner must live on site. That's a good thing to know. JADUs are required to have an efficiency kitchen alternative. They can be converted space or an addition to the main dwelling unit. They must be attached or have an internal connection. Recent updates to Santa Cruz County ADU ordinance as of March 2022 are as follows. ADUs must align with local ADU regulations. With the state law and HCD and ADU handbook, local regulations can exceed the state law minimum. The intent is to clarify ADU regulations to reduce points of confusion for applicants and staff and to address special circumstances such as disaster recovery and coastal zone balance of ADU regulations and California Coastal Act. One ADU plus one JADU is now allowed per conforming single-family dwelling. The state minimum is per parcel number of ADUs per property based on primary dwelling type, single or multifamily, not zone district. And can you believe it? Townhomes are considered single-family dwellings. That's right. For multifamily dwellings, you are now allowed 2 detached ADUs per parcel that may be attached to each other and conversion ADUs for up to 25% of units. The state law minimum is either or, not both. For the purpose of this conversation, size does actually matter. Conversion ADUs do not have a maximum size. Junior ADU cannot be larger than 500 square feet. 150 can be new construction. Detached new construction ADUs with parcels greater than 1 acre can have an ADU up to 1,200 square feet. On parcels less than 1 acre, the max is 850 square feet with 1 bedroom and 1,000 square feet for 2 bedrooms. Attached new construction ADUs with parcels greater than 1 acre can build as large as 50% of the size of the primary dwelling. Parcels smaller than 1 acre can build an 850 square foot 1 bedroom or 1,000 square foot 2 bedroom. Now that we have defined allowable sizes, descriptions, and what is allowed on what type of lot with single family and multifamily residential lots for ADUs and JADUs for Santa Cruz County, let's look at the special ADU development standards for Santa Cruz County. The setback requirements for ADUs and JADUs in Santa Cruz are 4 feet side and rear setbacks, including on corner lots and double frontage lots. ADUs may be located more than 100 feet from primary dwelling to meet agricultural buffers. Second story ADUs must be set back from the rear property line by 8 feet. Urban detached new construction ADUs can be up to 16 feet high. Urban ADUs above detached garages can be up to 24 feet high. Floor area calculations are based on habitable floor area. They do not count toward floor area of the primary dwelling, and 800 square feet ADUs must be allowed. Let's talk parking. Parking has always posed a problem for adding bedrooms to homes and ADUs. Not so much anymore. What is required? 1 parking space per new construction ADU, and get this, no parking required for conversion ADUs or JADUs. New construction ADUs meeting certain criteria such as proximity to a transit stop are exempt from parking as well. And there is no replacement parking required for garage conversions. These last 2 rules noted do not apply within 4 coastal designated areas. Here are a few design requirements and notes to consider when planning your Santa Cruz ADU or JADU access. Separate ADU, JADU exterior entrances are required. Separate driveways for ADUs are allowed. Public improvements not required. Fire sprinklers are not required if they are not required for the primary dwelling, except for special circumstances. Solar PV is required for new construction, detached ADUs. please be sure to review the Historic Preservation County Code 16.42.60. Some restrictions may apply if you are in a designated historic area, and cooking appliances for ADUs must be built in. Another thing to note, the ADU permit approval process has been upgraded. Yay! There is now a ministerial approval timeline. ADU and JADU applications must be acted on within 60 days from the date a complete application is received. Exceptions to 60-day ministerial review are as follows. ADUs built concurrently with primary dwellings, ADUs requiring discretionary approvals. If there are variances, exceptions, coastal zone development permit are required unless a waiver is granted in ADUs in certain coastal zone districts such as TPPR&D. For occupancy and sale of Santa Cruz properties with ADUs and JADUs, owner occupancy is required for properties with JADUs and properties with ADUs permitted before 2020. This can include relatives of the owner. Short-term rentals are not allowed in ADUs. Separate sales of ADUs are allowed only by affordable housing and/or nonprofit organizations. Code enforcement have a 5-year amnesty. For disaster recovery, ADUs are allowed to be built before the construction of the primary dwelling. Declarations of restrictions are as follows. Structures previously restricted to non-habitable use can now be converted to ADUs. And the money. ADU fees and taxes. Santa Cruz County is implementing reduced fees for all ADUs. For most fee types, ADUs are treated as additions instead of new homes. Reduced fees for small ADUs are as follows. Santa Cruz County planning and permitting fees and impact fees are waived for ADUs and JADUs less than or equal to 750 square feet, and utility fees are based on the size of the ADU. Reduced fees for conversion ADUs are as follows. Reduced fees for utility connections, soils reports, environmental planning review, public works fees, environmental health review, unless bedrooms are added. Fire review, affordable housing impact fee, and the property tax increase is for added value only. The ADU does not trigger a whole property reassessment. For additional information and resources, check out the links below. If you have questions pertaining to your specific Santa Cruz property and the addition of an ADU and/or a JADU, please feel free to reach out for a complimentary, confidential consultation. I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and as always, I'm here to help.